Hello guys, Abhishek here, and today we are going to make a Java project in which we are automating a task of finding the distance and duration between multiple places. So you will say that what's so big in that? Anyone can use Google Maps and find the distance and duration between any two places. But what if I tell you to find distance between 100 pair of places? Will you still use Google to find for each and every pair? So being an engineering student, it's our responsibility to make life easier, and so we will automate this shit. So stay tuned till the last of the video as we are going to learn a lot of stuff today. Our final answer will look like this. So don't worry, you will know about this as we proceed in the video. So what we are going to learn today is how to call API. In API using distance matrix API, which is by Google. So technically speaking, we are going to Google it only, but not us. Our program is going to Google to call the Google and ask them that please give me the distance and the duration between two places. The third thing is formatting the data in JSON. So Google will give us the answer, but it won't give us the answer in that simple way. So that data will be in JSON format. So we are going to apply the techniques of JSON so that we can get that data which we want, that exact duration and the distance. And also we are going to make a text file of the final data. So the final data, if you want to send to someone else, so we are going to make a text file of that data. So stay tuned and let's get started. We will start by seeing the documentation of the API. So this is the overview, going directly to the URL part. So this is going to be the URL which we will request from our program. It takes two requests. One is output format and another is parameters. Parameters like source, destination, and also the API key. So first of all, what is API key? API key, in simple words, API key provides project authorization. So whenever we are going to call the API, it will ask us the API key. How to get API key, I will tell you in the program later. So we are going to ask for the output format as JSON. So what is JSON? So JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. JSON is a lightweight format for storing and transporting data. JSON is often used when data is sent from server to a web page, or from server if you want to download a data, then we can download in JSON format. We can write the URL in three ways. So first way, we can give the latitude and longitude coordinates of source and destination. The second way is plus plus codes like name of the city, and the third way is using encoded polyline. So in this project we are going to use the second way, that is the name of the city, which is going to be easier for us. So as we are getting the data in JSON format, we have to parse it and get the useful results, which is distance and time. So for that we have to add this dependency called json.simple, which is from Google. This will automatically download the required files to write the code for JSON. As we will go further in the video, we will learn what is JSON, what is JSON array and JSON object. So let me show you how to get the API key. So now we will start by making an account in Google Cloud Platform. After agreeing to the terms and conditions, it's simple, the account is made. Now we are going to create a project. Let us give the name as distance matrix API. So after naming the project, we will then click on create. So after our project is created, we have to add certain APIs to the project. So to add the API, we have to click on go to API overview, and there we can add APIs. So now as there is an option enable API, so we will search for distance matrix API and then we will enable that API. So now our project is having the feature of distance matrix API. So now we have to get the API key. So in the credentials section, here we have to create credential, and in create credential we have to select for API key. It will automatically generate an API key which we are going to use in the program. We can also apply restrictions, but for now I'm not going to apply any type of restriction to this API key. So as we are having the API key now, we will copy it, and in the project we are going to make a final variable called API key. We are going to paste this key over there. So after this, we also have to enable the billing of our account. Don't worry, the billing of the Google Cloud Platform is totally free of cost, and also initially they are giving us $300 as credit, and there is no automatic reduction of any amount in from your account. So it's totally free, we can use this, and also for this project we don't need any paid services, so it's easy. So this was how we get the API key, and now let's start the coding of this project. We will start by making a Java Maven project. We will name it as distance matrix. So in the prompt.xml, we will paste our dependency, that json.simple dependency, and then we will click on this button and it will download all the resources. Then we will make a class named getDistanceMatrixAPI. We will declare a final string which will hold our API key. Two 2D float arrays which will be used afterwards. I will explain it afterwards. And then we will make the method getData. This will call the API and get us the JSON data. So in our getData method, it will ask for two strings, that is source and destination. Now by seeing the documentation part, we are going to copy this URL and paste it. We will make a variable called URL and then paste that URL which we get from the documentation, and in the parameter output, in the parameter output format, we will write as JSON, and in the parameters we will append the string as source, and then in destination the string destination, and after that we will add the API key. So as our string API key is having the API key which we get from the Google Cloud Services, now we will make a variable called request, that is http request.newbuilder.get.uri, in which we are going to pass the URL .build. Then we are going to make a variable called client, http client.newbuilder.build. Then the variable response, this variable will store the response which we are going to get from the API call. So then client.send, and in this we are going to pass the parameter request, http response .body handler .of string. This will convert the response into string. So now let us check by printing the response. We will make the main method and make the source as Bangalore and destination as New Delhi. Now we are going to call the getData method. Also in the response we are going to add .body. So now we can see that we are getting a response, but the status is invalid. That means there is something wrong in the URL. So let us check from the documentation part. So the origins are correct and destinations. In our project we have to put one S. So now we are getting the data. This is the distance between Delhi and Bangalore. So the text is the value in kilometers, that is in string, and the value is the actual float number which we are going to use in our project. So the distance is 2176037. If you calculate it, I think it's in mm. So please calculate and let me know what is the actual unit of this value, and also the duration, that is in milliseconds. I guess that if you convert 1 day 12 hours into milliseconds, then it will be 129043. So this is how we get that data. This data is in JSON format. So now we will see how to extract these two values, that is distance and duration, from this whole string. So parsing data using JSON. As we are having the data, we will now take out the valuable information using JSON object and array. First of all, we will copy this result and will paste it in a website called JSON Formatter. This website helps us to format the JSON data. So this is the nested structure of JSON. The element in this curly brackets are called JSON objects, and to get the data inside an object, we use the key value pair in JSON. As we get inside the object, we have 4 keys: destination, address, origin address, rows, and status. So out of these 4, we are going to look for rows. Now the row has a square bracket. This square bracket is called as JSON array. It works as a normal array where indexing starts from 0. Now similarly, in the 0th index of the array, we again have an object called elements. Going further inside, we got our necessary data called distance and duration. We are going to get the value field of these objects. So starting over, let's start coding. First, we will make a JSON parser. So we will start by making a JSON parser JP. Now we will make a JSON object called JO, and we will parse the response in that object. So jp.parse response, the response which we are getting from the API call. Now inside that, as we know that we need the rows, we need to get inside the rows. So for that, as inside the rows there is a JSON array, so we will make a JSON array named as JA, and then we will call the get function of JSON object, that is jo.get, and inside its parameters we will put rows, which is the key. Now let us check by printing. So we can see that after we print ja.toString, we are getting the data inside the element field. As inside the rows, it's an JSON array, and we are going to get the 0th element of that JSON array. So again we will update the JO to ja.0. That will give us the 0th index of JA. So now moving forward, now again we will update the JA JSON array and get inside the element section. So now we are inside the element section, and again we are having one array. So inside the element section, we will go for the 0th index and make an JSON object for that. So now we are inside the element section, we are having duration and distance. So now we want these two fields, that is duration and distance, separately. So we will make two new JSON objects, JE, which will ask for the distance, and another is JF, which will ask for the duration. So we are having the two data now. Let's check by printing that. So we are getting the value, text and value, for duration and distance. So now we only want the value field of these two. So we will move further and make two strings, distance and time. So for distance we will put ja.get value, and for time we will put ja.get value. Also the distance and time is not going to be string, they are going to be long. So we will update our program So now after running the program, we can see that we are getting the two values, that is distance and time. So this was how we retrieve data from a JSON file by making JSON objects and JSON arrays. The major thing which we should know is that the elements in the curly brackets are the JSON objects and the elements inside the square brackets are JSON array. That's it. Now let's move further in our project. So we are at the last part of our video. If you like the video, then please do like, share and subscribe. So continuing with our program, we are having the distance and duration between two places. So what if we want the data for multiple number of places? If we have list of 10 places and we want to get distance and duration between each and every two places, then what are we supposed to do? So this section of the video will help you to do that. Here we are going to use the 2D arrays which we created in the beginning. So I am going to make an array of strings with the city names, and I want the data in the form of a cost matrix of a graph. So our data will look like this. For every index I, j, it is the distance or time between the ith row and jth column. So the process of calling the API multiple times is simple. Just we have to run a nested for loop to call for every permutation. So let's see if that works or not. We are in the nested for loop. We are going to check if I is not equals to j. So if so, then our source and destinations are different. Then we will call the getData method with the destination and source as ith and jth index of the name string. Else source and destination are same, so we don't need to call the function. We will just we will just make it as 0. We are also going to print the distance to check if it's working or not in the getData method. So let's give the appropriate names for each and every API call. So we are going to print the name of the city as well as the distance and duration. So let's run the code. So we can see that some of the data are correct and some are giving us null pointer exception. So let us check. Now let us use the try catch clause to check for errors. In the catch part, we are going to print the name of the city which is giving us this exception, the null pointer exception. So now let's run the code. So in the output we can see that there is a problem with the city Jaipur. So let us check it manually in the Google map itself. So let us search for Jaipur and let us find the distance between Bangalore and Jaipur. So what we can do is, as it is giving null pointer exception, so there is a problem with the API calling only. So in the string part, so we have to update the URL. So in the string of cities, what we can do is, instead of Jaipur, we can copy the name of the city from this URL, that is Jaipur plus Rajasthan, and we can paste it over there. This will make our program exception free. So let us check if that works or not. So we can see that now our program is running smoothly and the distance between Jaipur and distance between Jaipur and Bangalore is almost the same. The small difference between these two values are because Jaipur and Bangalore are itself large cities. If you want the exact distance, then you should give the latitude and longitude instead of the name. Now moving back to the code. So now we are having all the necessary data. We are going to update the distance and time metrics in the getData method. And also we will cross verify by printing the matrix. So let's do so. Instead of cities.length, I'm making a variable called n and replacing every cities.length with n. So now let's print the result, so now we can see that yes, we are getting the correct data. And also in the Google Cloud Services in the project, we can check if our API, what is the traffic of the API call and all. You can go and check it yourself. So yes, it's done now. Now let us do one more final thing, is that making the text file of our hard-earned data. So all of this data, if we want to send it to some other person, so we can send it as a text file. So for that I am going to make a method called make text file. I will simply use the printWriter class to do so. If you don't know what printWriter does, then in simple words, it makes a text file of whatever data you want. So in this case, we are going to make the text file of the distance and cost matrix itself. So there is nothing to explain in this function. Just you can see and observe what's going on. So now let's run the code. And we can see that two text files are created. That is distance matrix.txt and time matrix.txt. So let us open these files. In the project, wherever you save this project, you can go and check there will be a text file created and it will hold this value. So this is the matrix and the diagonals are 0 because the distance between the same places are 0, and the first row and the first column are 0 because in the cities array I have considered the first city as nothing, so it's 0. So now we came to the end of our video. Hope you like my hard work. It takes hours to make video like this. So please do like, share and subscribe. This will encourage me to make more such videos. My next video will be a Java project for college students. So stay tuned. Thank you.